Okay, would it be 1.75?
Yes, yes, it would. Very good. Okay. All right, good job on that. So there's actually only certain numbers that you can divide nicely. You can always divide by 2 nicely. You can divide by 4 nicely. You can divide by 8 and by 10. The other ones give you what are called repeating decimals,
Uh-huh.
which I don't know if you've done much with, but um, and sometimes what they do is they disguise them. Like they'll ask you what is like 14 over 16, and you're supposed to pre-reduce. Do you know what I mean by that?
No.
So both the top and the bottom are divisible by 2, so you can actually reduce these.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this would become 7 over 8. So now could you figure out what that is as a decimal?
Mhm. Would it be 0.875?
Very good. Okay. Now maybe you saw this in class, but when you do like 1 divided by 3, this becomes 3 on the outside, 1 on the inside. 3 goes in, so it's 9 subtract 1, bring down the 0, 3, 9 subtract 1, bring down the 0. Do you see the pattern here?
Uh-huh.
So some of these give what are called repeating decimals. Did you guys talk about that
Yeah.
in class? Okay, that's good. What did you guys do as a result of that?
Um, basically did that example you just showed me. That's really all we really talked about repeating decimals.
Okay, will you try this one for me, please, then? Unless you already did it in class.
No, we didn't.
Okay, why don't you try that one, please?
It would be 0.6 repeating.
Yeah. So the way to denote that is you put a line above it. Did you guys talk about that in class?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. So the other thing we can do here is I can give you a repeating decimal. I can tell you it's 0.35 repeating. and we will learn how to write this as a fraction. Okay, I don't know if we'll do that today, but that's the other thing that um, let's
Mhm.
see here. So the other thing we were doing the other day is we were looking at something like 0.15 and writing that as a you remember how to write that
Oh,
as a fraction?
um, I kind of forgot.
Okay, so you write the number and then you put a 1 on the bottom and you count the number of decimal places.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it ends up being 0, 0. Now this is where you have to reduce the fraction. Do you remember at all how to do that?
Yeah. Don't we use like prime numbers?
Yeah, so you start with 2, 2 doesn't work, 3, and then 5. 5 does work.
3/10.
Well, you divide both by 5, so it's not 10, it's 20 on the bottom.
Oh, I forgot to. Oh, yeah, I forgot to divide it. Okay. Yeah. So 3/20.
Okay, all right. Let's try another one here. How about 0.8 or 80? Let's go 80. So what would that be as a fraction?
Maybe 40/50.
So it is 80 over 100, and like you said, you divide by 2 and divide by 2, but sometimes you got to keep going. Like, are those both divisible by 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so keep going. What does that become?
20/10. Oh, sorry, I ran out of lead. Okay. 4/5. Hello?
All right, sorry about that. I was accidentally muted. Let's look at 6/18. Okay. Is 6 divisible by 2?
Yeah,
Is 18 divisible by 2?
yes.
Okay. Could you do that, reduce that for us, please?
Mhm. 3/6.
Now, does 2 work for both of them? Like, can you divide each of these by 2?
No. Well, you can divide 2/6, but
By 3?
yes. So it'd be 1/2 or 1/2.
It is. It becomes 1/2. Good. Okay, let's try another one here. How about 8/20? What does that become? So always start with 2.
4/10.
Okay. Can you keep going?
No. Wait, no,
Does
yeah, yeah,
2?
you can.
Yep, keep going.
Then it's 2/5.
It's 2/5. Good. All right. Let's try another one here. Starting to get the hang of this.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's do 20/24. Can you reduce that fraction for us, please?
Yes. Would equal 5/6.
5/6. So did you divide by 2 twice to get 10/12 and then 5/6?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, that does work. Okay. So let's look at a couple more here. Let me start snipping these in. Okay, how about 24/27? Again, you always start with 2, 3, 5. You actually don't need to get very high in this list, but
Would it be 8/9?
it would be 8/9. Very good. Did you divide both by 3?
Yeah.
Great. Um, okay, let's look at a couple more here. You're doing great. Um, how about something like 24/42?
So would it be 12/21 and then that equals 4/7?
It's very good. Very, very good. All right, let's have you try one or two more here. And then we'll go back to our fractions or decimal to fraction stuff. Go ahead and give this one a try, please.
Would equal 7/12?
That is correct. Good. All right, doing great here. So let's get back to what we've been doing. So let's say it's like 0.04 as a fraction. What does that become? What number goes on top
4 goes on top.
and what goes on the bottom?
100.
Okay, could you try reducing that for us, please?
Mhm. Would it be 1/25?
Yeah, so 2/50 and then 1/25. So remember I made you that list earlier, divided by 2, divided by 4, divided by 8. 1/25 is another one of those that works out nicely. Same with 10. There's only a few. Some of them really, really do not work out. All right. How are you doing? Okay with what we've been working on right now tonight? All right, let
Yeah.
me go see what else we've been doing on these review lessons. I don't want to spend too much time on any one topic. So let me go see what we worked on in our previous lesson. November 2nd. All right. So we did some positive and negative correlation. I don't know that that is all that useful for us to go through again. Let me go back and look. More previous lesson. I think we were doing some slope stuff and some like terms. Yeah. Okay. Do you remember the slope formula?
Y equals mx plus, oh,
That is the equation of a line. That's a good thing to know. But do you remember the slope formula? Y2 minus y1 equals m2 minus.
yeah. Yeah, I do.
All right, great. So let's give you some ordered pairs here. Let's say it's 0, 4 and 3, 7. Would you calculate the slope for us, please?
Yeah. So wouldn't the y1 go on? I forget which one it goes on.
So
Like,
this is x1, y1, x2, and y2. That's a great question. It's like, which one is it?
would equal 3/3, which equals 1.
Yeah, the slope is 7 minus 4 over 3 minus 0, which equals 1. Now, you mentioned this equation of a line. That 1 is the slope. So the equation of the line becomes y equals 1x plus b.
Oh.
All right. Now, did you guys learn how to solve for b?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, so we will not be doing that. But you knew this equation. How come you knew this equation? Where
It
did you see
just
that?
it's like familiar and
Okay. All right. That's okay. Yeah. Um, we'll do something like that, but you are a little bit, that is a little bit ahead of the game for you on that. So, all right. How about, let's say I give you the points -1, -3, comma, 2, comma, 6. Okay. So like the previous problem, I would recommend labeling the points
Mhm.
and going from there, like putting them into the formula after you label them.
Yeah. For when you subtract negatives, so would you just do 6 minus 3? Would you do 6 minus -3?
So the double negative uh, becomes a positive.
Okay, yeah. So then it would be 9/3. And then
Yes, but does that reduce?
yeah, be 3/1.
Yep, very good. All right, you ready to do another one?
Mhm.
Try this one for me, please.
would it be 8/6, and then that reduces to 4/3?
Very good, yeah. All right, doing great here. All right, so I got to look up a few more problems here because these are just ones I'm making up, but you're ready for the, um, kind of the real homework type problems. So let's take a look at those. Okay, let's do. All right, so here's one for you to try.
Would it be -3/1?
So we have 2 minus 5 over 4 minus 5. Is that what you wrote?
Yeah.
Tell me what goes on the top.
3.
Try again.
-3?
Yeah, why is it negative? Which is further from 0, 2 or -5?
Uh, -5.
Yeah, so that's why it's negative. How about the next one here? What does that become?
-1.
You remember what happens? You have two negatives.
A positive.
Yeah, it becomes +3. All right, let's try another one. That was a little harder than some of the others we've been doing. The signs can really get you. And that's where these become more difficult. You have to remember to add, subtract, multiply, divide, positives and negatives and things like that. So here we go. We'll leave the previous one up in case you want to look at it. But take a look at this one.
It would be 1, +1. Both. Yeah.
So let's look here. -3 minus 5 over -6 minus 2. Is that what you have written down?
Yeah.
What does the top become?
-8.
And then on the bottom here?
-8. And then it equals 1. No, that equals
It equals +1. Very good. Let me give you another one to try. These are just like, you got to get really comfortable with the signs. I think you're doing great. You will have to eventually reduce some fractions and some other things, but here you go. Here's another one for you to take a look at.
would it be 2/5?
8 minus 6 over -5 minus a -10. It is 2 over 5. Very good. All right. You're definitely getting the hang of these. Let me write an equation here. Let's say I write something like this: 10 equals 4 plus b. Do you know how to solve this for b?
Um, wouldn't you just subtract 4 from 10?
Okay, so what does b become?
6.
Good. Let's try another one here. -1 equals 5 plus b. Could you solve this for b? So you've got to subtract 5 from both sides. What does that become?
Um, oh, I was okay. -6. Would it be -6?
Yes, yes, very good. Okay, let's try something a little bit more difficult. Let's say it's 4 equals 2 times -1 plus b. Okay. So before you can solve for b, you have to do this multiplication. What would that become if you did that multiplication?
-2.
Okay, so now it's 4 equals -2 plus b. Could you solve for b now for us, please?
Mm-hmm. Would it be 6?
B is 6, good. All right, so here's one for you to try. 8 equals 3 times 3 times 4 plus b.
Would it be -4?
Okay. 8 equals 12 plus b, subtract 12. Yeah, b equals -4. Very good. Okay. So you might be wondering why we're doing all that. Um, so let's do another slope problem here. So I want you to do the slope here. So disregard what we just were doing, but find the slope between those 2 points.
Would it be 2 over -7?
So we have 4 minus 2 over -5 minus 2, 2 over -7. That's correct. Good. All right. That actually was not the example I wanted. So let me give you a different problem here. So you said, hey, I've seen this equation before, y equals mx plus b. Let's say I tell you the slope is 2, right? That means that 2 goes in for m. It would be y equals 2x plus b. All right. Is that okay so far? Like maybe we did a slope formula and then we got 2 when we're all done. Is that
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yeah.
Now let's say it goes through the point -1, comma 4. This is X, this is Y. So I'm going to put 4 in for Y, -1 in for X. Does this look like the problems we've been doing for the last few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, could you solve that for B for us, please?
Mhm. Oh, sorry. Would it be 6?
Yeah, B is 6. And so you end up putting that back in there in your equation of Y equal 2X plus 6. All right. So let's try one more before we close out today. Y equals MX plus B. M is 3, Y equals 3X plus B. And let's say it goes to the point 2, comma 1. So that means X is 2 and Y is 1. 1 equals 3 times 2 plus B. Could you solve that for B for us, please?
Mhm.
What would B become?
Um, so I don't know, I'm kind of confused on this one.
1 equals 6 plus B, subtract 6 from both sides. B ends up equaling -5. That goes back in there, it ends up being 3X minus 5. This is way beyond where you're at in this class, so don't worry if that didn't make any sense. You'll see it soon enough, or we'll have more time to work on it